Good morning, people. You are welcome to the best breakfast show on television, right? Our Friday shows are especially colorful, well, because we know that a life without color is indicative of a life lacking in luster. Good morning once again, and welcome. We know the perfect way to wrap up the week, so here we are bringing you a show as bright as the rainbow. I know. You know what they say about after the rain comes the sun, and usually when the sun comes out, then the rainbow blooms, right? Great. Okay, and we are hoping that it sets, the tone for the weekend for you, and that's why we are here. Okay, it's an amazing Friday edition of the show. The less 1 hour, 45 minutes. It's going to be fun all the way. My name is Ime Okwache, and do not forget that you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. You could also watch us live on GOTV, and you can find us on channel 16 and UHF channel 49. Let's get right into what we have planned for the show for you today, right? Let's get right with it. Joining us on the couch, we have veteran filmmaker and producer Zeb Ejiro joining us for a chat later on. Can't wait for this particular interview. Now that you have an idea of what we're bringing you on the show, let's update you on the weather forecast. We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us. Hello, good morning. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. It's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. We're starting in Abuja, where it's now clear that subsidy on fuel will not be removed in June as earlier planned by the federal government. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, spoke with State House correspondents at the end of the NEC meeting at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde has more.
The removal of petrol subsidy may still remain a mirage, as this very contentious issue, considered to be an unsustainable economic policy, may linger very much longer than expected. The Minister of Finance is beginning to suggest that there might be a shift in the goalpost. She categorically said the National Economic Council agrees that the time for the removal of petrol subsidy should not be now.
But then we have two laws that have inadvertently made the provision that we should exit by June. So if the committee's work, which will include the representatives of the incoming administration, determine that the removal can be done by June, then the work plan will be designed to exit as of June. But if the determination is that the period needs to be extended, it will mean that we will have, as a country, will have to revisit the Appropriation Act, for example, because the 2023 budget only made provision up to June.
There is no provision for petrol subsidy in the 2023 budget beyond June. This means the incoming administration will have to scratch its head in search of extra budgetary allocation to fund the subsidy regime. But in the interim, an expanded committee will be formed to determine when it is right to stop the subsidy on petroleum products. An extension in the deadline to remove fuel subsidy may be likened to postponing the evil day. But it will also bring respite to citizens who will directly feel the biting impact of this action. The National Economic Council meeting was not only about subsidy removal, but it was also a valedictory session for the advisory organ of the executive arm of government. The governors that form the core of the National Economic Council gave themselves a pat on the back and commended the leadership of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo.
So we wish him the best of luck and parted on a very good, friendly and brotherly note.
Vice President Osinbajo also launched the National Economic Council Legacy Report, which captures the successes and challenges faced in the country and how the advice of the council steered the country through tough times. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
Outside Nigeria, Sudanese armed forces have agreed to extend the ongoing truce mediated by the U.S. and Saudi Arabia for another 72 hours, which will take effect from the date at the end of the current truce. The Sudanese army has pounded RSF fighters with airstrikes in the capital, Khartoum, while deadly fighting has flared in western Darfur. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and African Union Commission Chairperson Moussa Faki Mahamat have discussed working together to create a sustainable end to the fighting that erupted April 15th. Now, the White House is urging Americans to leave Sudan within the next 24 to 48 hours. White House spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre says the administration was deeply concerned by an increase in ceasefire violations in Sudan on Wednesday, and the U.S. Department of State has deployed additional consular staff.
And yes, we are back. I'm sorry I was too carried away with the papers there. It's time for us to go through the front pages, of course, and we will be starting with the Punch. Making the headlines this morning, National Assembly leadership. Tinubu governors dump consensus for zoning, and governors advise Tinubu against endorsing candidates, seek due process, and work with party leadership for principal officers election, Tinubu tells governors. And here we have over 60,000 soldiers recruited under my watch, says Buhari. And at the bottom of the paper here, $2.4 billion diversion claim, baseless, says Malami. And Nigerians rejoice as police go after rogue cops. And finally, floods. 16 states eye federal government relief fund. And of course, we have more stories on the Punch newspaper, but that's all we can take. Let's move over to The Nation. Making the headlines here, why Tinubu floored Atiku Obi by President Buhari. And on the riders here, President-elect urges governors to back party on National Assembly top positions. And at the bottom of the paper here, just right below the picture story, 10 burnt in Plateau tanker accident and judgment reserved in OAU murder case. You can find more of that story on page 6 of the paper. Now let's move to the top of the paper here. Let's see what stories are on. 48 million barrel of crude oil not missing, Malami tells reps. And Southwest states to launch regional power rail projects. And Buhari, we have done our best to improve security. And finally, UK PM Sunak pledges support for Tinubu administration. And that's all we can take on The Nation. Let's move over to the Daily Trust. Making the headlines here, Tinubu settles for Akpabio, Barrow as Senate President's deputy. And on the riders here, to convey decision to NWC, other contenders. Meets APC governors, says let's work together on National Assembly leadership. And North can't be second fiddle, says former governor. And consultations ongoing for speaker, deputy positions. And here, tanker explosion kills 13, injured many in Jos. Quite a sad story there. And my administration recruited 60,000 soldiers, says Buhari. And I'll take just one more story here on Sudan crisis. 1,500 Nigerian evacuees to arrive Abuja today, says federal government. And returnees abandoned in this desert over pay hitches. Hundreds of Umrah pilgrims stranded in Saudi. And yes, we have more story on the cover of the Daily Trust papers. And that's all we can take for now. We will be right back shortly. Stay with us. Thank Thanks for staying with us. Welcome to the kitchen, guys. With me right now is Chef Victoria. And this morning, she's making chicken and gizzard curry sauce. Right. Chef Victoria, let's run through the ingredients for our curry sauce.
It's a very simple dish. It's something you can do within 45 minutes.
Okay.
So that's why I actually like the dish. So we are making use of rice. We are making use of gizzard and chicken wings.
Okay.
Then the oil is to fry the chicken and the gizzard.
Okay, that's vegetable oil?
Yes.
Okay.
We are also going to use it to stir fry the vegetables.
Okay.
So here I have colored bell peppers. There's carrots, there's onion, there's spring onion, and then there are seasoning cubes just for extra flavor. Yes. Then I have this chicken stock. Then this is a cornstarch. It's used to thicken the sauce, basically. Then this is parsley. It's just to add a little bit of beauty.
Okay.
Then the spring onion, I mainly like to use spring onion, sweet corn rather, to boil my rice because it makes it look beautiful.
Colorful.
Yes. Doesn't have to be plain every day. Yeah. Then this is salt.
Salt to
boil the rice,
taste. Now let's run through the process for our chicken curry sauce. What are we starting with?
Okay, first of all, we are going to be boiling the rice aside.
Okay.
Then we are going to be cutting the veggies and the onion, everything basically. We are just going to cut and stir fry.
Okay.
So we'll leave that to rest and then we'll start the sauce. It's very simple.
Okay. At what point does the sweet corn go into the rice? People
When
need
it's
that
almost
information.
ready, when it's
almost
soft,
ready,
yes. Because the sweet corn is soft.
Exactly.
So you don't need to make it too mushy, yes. So once you taste your rice and you see it's soft enough, you just
add your sweet corn to it.
Yes, that's
Okay, on your screen right there, the ingredients, people. If you missed out on it earlier on, it's right there. Lucky for you all, it's the weekend, so you get to try this recipe out and send us pictures, videos on all our social media platforms. We want to know that you are a part of what we're doing here every single day on the show, especially here in the kitchen with us. Okay, so we're gonna get frying in a bit, right?
Yes.
With our vegetable oil,
we're starting the chicken and gizzard first. We are going to be frying it.
Frying that, and then
we will be boiling the rice aside.
Okay. Yes. So don't worry, guys. We're not leaving you out of what's happening here in the kitchen. We'll bring you back. We'll be right back shortly. Stay with us. And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. Okay, guys, I still have Chef Victoria here with me, just in case you didn't catch her in the first, in the first few minutes, right? So she's here, and she's going to be making chicken and gizzard curry sauce. Victoria, do you mind running through the ingredients again for the benefit of those who are just joining us on the show?
Again, we are going to be using rice, sweet corn to make the rice beautiful, Then salt for taste, Then the cornstarch is to thicken the sauce.
Okay.
Yes. Then parsley is just to beautify it.
Okay.
That's all. Then we have spring onion, green bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, and red bell peppers. Now I'm going to be cutting it in cubes to make it more attractive. Yes.
Okay.
Then I'm using my soy sauce and oyster sauce.
Okay, and it's a chili sauce as well.
Just for extra spice.
Flavor.
Yes. Then there is chicken wings and gizzard. So that's just basically
Okay, and I see that our chicken wings and gizzards have already been boiled and like properly cooked.
Yes.
So we're just going to fry them, right? And then
just for the crunch.
Just for crunch.
Yes.
Okay, I also, so because you practically chopping the bell peppers into chunks, it reminds me of sweet and sour chicken sauce.
Okay.
It has that same ingredients, same veggies, to go with it. Yeah, so that's actually what I'm getting from. And for sweet and sour chicken sauce, you also make use of soy sauce and oyster sauce as well. But I'm sure this, of course, this is, done as a chicken curry sauce instead. Now, let's talk about alternatives for the cornstarch.
Okay.
What other alternatives can you use for a thickener?
Basically, because it's cornstarch, the idea of cornstarch is to thicken the sauce.
Okay.
So it's either corn flour or corn starch.
Okay.
Or potato starch.
Ah, potato
basically,
starch.
but you don't
okay.
really get that in Lagos. So we just opt for the corn
starch,
yes.
or you can use your regular flour and
or your regular flour.
or your
yes.
regular flour. So it's important to let us know how to administer the corn starch.
Okay.
So that we're not just going and sprinkling it into the
Okay.
So how do we incorporate it into our meal?
Well,
Into the sauce.
It depends on the quantity of the sauce. Now.
Okay.
If it's for like 3 to 4 people, 1 tablespoon is enough.
Okay, so do you mix it in water before you
Yeah,
put it in?
for this recipe, usually we mix the cornstarch into water to
Okay.
dissolve it. But for this recipe, I'm going to be mixing it with my oyster sauce and soy sauce.
Okay.
Because it will give it extra flavor.
Ah, so it's basically going to activate the flavors from the soy sauce.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You see that we're working with a lot of flavors.
Yeah.
This
because it has to be
morning's
sweet.
recipe. Yeah. Pretty excited because I absolutely love food. And I also love chicken curry sauce. I mean, I don't think there's a weekend that goes by that I don't make chicken curry sauce because I absolutely love it. But if you missed out on the ingredients earlier on, they're right there on your screen, people. Yes, and you know, gladly, many of these ingredients are, you know, stuff that you can find around you at your local store. And they're quite affordable as well.
Very affordable.
Right. And I don't think you need to use all of the veggies all at once.
No,
if you can't find
all
red,
at
you can use yellow.
Only
If you
one,
can find
yes.
just
It's
one
just
is also
for the
fine.
color. But if it's something you just want to rush and do before you get to work, you can use just the green bell pepper
And your carrots.
Yes, and you're fine.
And
you're
good.
to go. Yes.
Right. I see that our oil is heating up already. Do we start frying
Yes, we
our
are
chicken?
going to start frying this.
Okay. So how do you fry your chicken? Is it medium rare or very well cooked?
Very well cooked.
Very
yes.
well cooked.
Because
okay, so
I
let me
think
help
it
you with a
has,
spoon.
I think
Here you go.
if it has a bit of a crunch,
Okay.
it makes it sweeter.
Ah,
yes.
okay.
Because the oil, what I've learned is oil tends to bring up more of the flavor.
Okay.
Yes. So once you fry it very well, the flavor will stay inside.
Oh, okay. All right. So someone watching right now is like, why is running away from the pan? Well, that's because it's hot oil. And to be honest, I actually run away from frying things. I'm not even going to lie, people. Like, ooh, okay. I run away from frying things.
Okay, another thing.
Yeah.
What you can do to make your chicken or gizzard more flavorful, you can add a little bit of onion. Onion.
Yes. Onion. Onion is all the flavor that you need.
Yes.
Apart from the fact that it's packing on a lot of nutrients that your body needs. First off, it is an antioxidant, which of course helps to boost your immune system. And then it also fights bacterial infection. So do not, play on your onions, people. Onions, ginger, garlics are like your must. Should
actually
be your must-have.
Ginger and garlic to
marinate the chicken
yes.
and the gizzard,
just
right?
for the flavor, yes.
So we already have it in our chicken stock over here. All right. So we're just going to wait for our chicken and gizzard to fry up. So we want it very well cooked so that all of those flavors that have previously been used on it can simmer in really, really well. Yes, this is what food does to me. It gets me excited. It gets my adrenaline pumping. All right, people, right. So yes, we're getting things ready here in the kitchen. Our rice will be ready in a bit because we're going to start heating that up. Our sweet corn goes just right when the rice is almost
once the rice
done.
is soft, yes.
Once it's done, we're going to pour in our sweet
corn.
corn.
So you don't make it too mushy.
Yeah, because you don't want it all mushy. And then, so while you're eating, so there's something about sweet corn. It gives a certain flavor and, sweetness, a certain sweetness to your rice. Okay, things are getting really, really pumped up here in the kitchen. But hey, let's thrill you to a musical performance. We have Titi who's going to take that shortly. So if you caught up on the performance earlier on from Tyler Vibes, or something he did, he called the Steve Hip. I've been trying to, learn it ever since. And it's just got me, Well, hey, this is a reminder that this is your premium family breakfast television. We always make sure we deliver a wholesome family experience. So this is a show you should never miss, ever, especially our Friday editions, because it's been very well packaged for you. And of course, my name is Ime Okwache. Remember that you can catch the show live on GOTV. You'll always find us at channel 16 and UHF channel 49. You could also stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Do not forget to download our app if you haven't already. It is available on both the Android and iOS stores. Yes, of course, this allows you to watch us anywhere and everywhere in the world. Let's get you right into what we have for the next less than 45 minutes of the show. We have the big games. Yes, no last guest. And we have filmmaker and producer Zeb Ejiro joining us later on the show. And hopefully he gets here in time because the traffic out there. Yes. And now that you know what we have for you in the next less than 45 minutes of the show, let's update you on the weather updates. Stay with us. Inspector, I remember that. I mean, not vividly, but I actually really do remember the soundtrack right now. Okay, guys, welcome to the kitchen. This is Chef Victoria, and she is making chicken and gizzard curry sauce. Of course, we're having it with rice. But what's interesting about this recipe is you could actually have it with anything, well, except from beans. So please go ahead, Victoria.
Well,
what are you doing right now?
Okay, I'm stir-frying the veggies.
Okay.
Chopped
so let's reel out the veggies that we're using.
Okay, we are using carrots, green, yellow, and red bell peppers, onion for more flavor, yes. Then spring onion. I'm going to put the spring onion later on.
Okay.
Yes. Then over here we have
our rice. Yes.
And since it's almost ready, we can go ahead to add the sweet corn. Yes.
To give it that extra taste and sweetness. You could also use spring onions if you're looking for extra flavor, color. Right, color, because
anything goes. You can use the parsley. The parsley is
parsley is also going to give it that extra flavor, like a mincy kind of flavor.
And it's going to make it look appealing.
Right. Okay, so I think our veggies are ready, are they?
And I fried my chicken.
We already did that. Okay.
So I'm going to set this aside.
Okay.
And then we are going to be doing the sauce. Over here in a bowl, I've already added the oyster sauce.
Okay.
I used 1 tablespoon for each of them. Oyster sauce, soy sauce, and chili sauce.
Okay.
So I'm going to be adding the cornstarch into this.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Just 1 tablespoon is going to do it.
Okay.
Just 1 tablespoon. And then I'm going to be mixing it.
Are we stirring?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to stir while we're heating up.
Then we are going to be pouring this into our pan.
Okay, there's no oil on the pan?
No, we are not using oil anymore. We are going to be using the chicken stock.
Oh, as our base.
Yes, as the base.
Great.
Don't need too much of it because this already has a lot of taste.
Okay.
So you don't need too much of it. And since the soy sauce is salty.
Yes.
So you don't
want to overdo it. Yes. So you need to be careful with the amount of salt that you're using. Let's not forget that too much of salt is not good for your health. So just a little bit is just okay. Salt to taste. Yeah. Not salt to over taste.
We are going to be adding water too.
Water, okay.
Yes. We're going to be adding water. So now it depends on how well you want your food to taste. If maybe the flavor is not coming out enough for you, you can either add chicken stock or your seasoning cubes or your
soy sauce.
Yes. So there are a variety of options, yes.
All right, guys, you're watching this right now and you're saying to yourself, I need to make this now, or I'll definitely make it over the weekend. Do not forget to give us a shout out. Do not forget to send us those pictures, videos. Let us know. It gladdens our hearts to know that you are a part of all this that we do for you here in the kitchen and on the show. Mike is we're doing scoffing. Take that scoffing, Mike. So right now, okay, I see that we have our soy sauce.
Yes.
And our mix.
Once we put this in, we are going to just stir it till it's well dissolved.
Okay.
Yes, and then we are adding our veggies.
Okay.
Then we are adding our chicken and gizzard. So that's all.
Very easy
simple
recipe. Well, it may not look easy, but it is actually easy. I think where the bulk of the work is in the frying of the chicken and the gizzard, really.
Once you chop up your veggies,
that's it, basically. That's all. That's all. Chicken.
So now, as I'm stirring, it's going to thicken
dissolve.
up.
Okay.
Yes. So if it's too thick, I can
add a little
choose to add water. Yes. But if it's not thick enough, I can add
more
the cornstarch. Yes.
Great.
But you don't want it thick because once you put it in the fridge, if maybe you are doing
it's going to thicken up already.
Yes.
Right.
So you won't like the aftertaste.
Pretty excited about this morning's recipe. I don't know if you watching at home are, but hey, I trust that you are. Recipe will be ready in a bit. Victoria has been hard at work. Thank you so much. Pretty excited. But hey, we're not going anywhere yet. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back shortly.
All right.
Yeah, that went well. By the way, we've been talking about this for just about a week now. The beautiful game is normally 10 a.m., but we've moved it to 11.
Yeah.
So the beautiful game was 10 a.m. on Saturdays, but it is now 11 a.m. So please get all your family, your friends, your enemies, those that used to watch it by 10 a.m., it's 11 a.m. tomorrow. We're going to have fun. Chelsea fans, they're in for it tomorrow.
And Arsenal fans.
Oh, no, let's pity them.
Wow.
He that is down there.
Wow.
All right. I don't know
Victoria.
if I'm supposed to welcome Mike into the kitchen, but hey. Welcome, Chef Victoria.
Okay, no bad manners. This one have.
Chef
So
Victoria.
this morning, Chef Victoria has made, I'll call the rice, can we call it sweet corn rice?
Okay.
Yes. Herbed with parsley.
Yes, parsley.
Yeah. And then we have our gizzard and chicken curry sauce right there in the middle. A lot of love went into it, as you can see. The aroma in the air is...
So Mike is holding his spoon like a recalcitrant
Please,
child.
pass that in now.
And he's never going to taste this.
Wow! Inspector Gadget, please now.
Yes.
You know, we'll suspend you on this place.
Okay, let's see what Mike thinks. Let's just be gracious.
Some people jealous me.
Wow.
Some people jealous me.
That's for the
Some
jungle
people
trek that you
jealous
had
me.
this morning.
That trek wasn't easy.
Oh.
And if
Mike,
you
why are
don't
you
need to
taking-
go out and you are around the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway area,
Or
you
you are
still-
going
you don't
out
need to go
of the
anywhere.
Lagos.
Please, just don't go anywhere.
Two
Just
of
stay
you
home.
have bad manners.
Wow.
Your guest is tasting the food.
What?
Please,
Wow.
silence.
You have
Our
not even
guest-
eaten it yet.
Please just have a taste.
Chef Vicky,
Wow.
I love gizzard.
Chef Vicky.
Vicky.
Study over familiarity.
So what do you
What do
think?
you think, Mike? Even though Mike is the worst person to ask.
I'm
about
telling
food,
you. But you know what?
I think two of you should just leave this place.
Wow.
Chef Vicky, this is lovely.
Oh.
Well done, Chef.
Thank
Vicky.
you.
Thank you
Nice
so
one.
much. Right.
It's been a fabulous week, people.
It has.
Yes,
it
so-
has. And we are, of course, wrapping up the show on a beautiful and delicious note.
Yes, we are.
Thank you to all our guests for being here today.
Yeah.
And for those still stuck in traffic, well,
God is
sorry.
with you. God is with you. Godspeed.
All Chelsea fans can come and join me.
Wow.
Okay, Arsenal fans too. Let me know you can come and join me. Because,
Mike.
because you see.
Well, I'm actually an Arsenal fan, so let's
No, but
what's going on.
all right, people, have a great weekend ahead, and do not forget to catch up on our omnibus,
Yes,
which
sir.
is tomorrow. All right.
Okay.
You can catch us on